Hi Gemini, this is your September 2018 Tarot Fix. Thank you for checking out the reading, and I hope it's right on time. It looks like a lot of Geminis are considering some commitments in Virgo season in the month of September, so even the beginning of Libra season as well. Some bonds, partnerships, couples forming. Not necessarily romantic, but certainly for some. But since you are the sign of twins, Gemini, the Two of Cups showing there could also just be emphasizing your duality. Perhaps it's heightened at this time. I'm just checking my calendar for any astrological events, activity that might speak to what's going on with Gemini or Mercury. Of course, today is the new moon in Virgo, and Venus also moves to Scorpio today, I believe. If not today precisely, then right around this time. And then we have Mars moving into Aquarius tomorrow. So I don't know how I would connect that directly with Gemini's duality being emphasized, but just perhaps that's just something that's happening in the month of September for you. Doesn't necessarily have to be right in these couple of days. Mercury to Libra on the 21st. Okay, so your planet, Gemini, I believe, is Mercury. So the planet of Gemini, the planet of the twins, is moving into Libra, the planet of balance. So maybe your duality is emphasized, and you find you have the opportunity to appreciate how it brings you balance in your life, in your personality, in your ways, your habits, your patterns, how that duality can be taken in a direction that can give you an even scale to work with, Gemini. I'm sure all of us who identify with the Gemini energy appreciate the tendency to be able to see things from both sides. And there is that Libra energy showing again. Okay, so we are over 3 minutes in, and Gemini, you don't want to talk. Which is strange, because before recording, my thoughts were just buzzing, and I mean, they do that. I have an Aquarius moon, but when I connected with your energy, Gemini, man, they just raced. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and it's okay if this doesn't work out, because then I'll do this then, and then I had plan B and plan C, and I was 10 thoughts deep before I pushed back from the table and thought, oh, Gemini got a hold of me. And my Mars is in Gemini, and my Jupiter too, so it's real easy, I think, for that energy for me to connect with it and to get caught up in it and to roll with it. But my thoughts, even with my moon in Aquarius and being an overthinker, do not race like that. I don't know what to do with that. That's too much. My Taurus, Sun, Mercury, and Venus just said, whoa, whoa, how can we work with that? So I was just reflecting on how unreal it is, how quick some of you cycle through your conscious flow, your thoughts of the day, what you're going to communicate to someone, your to-do list, and with so many thoughts, you don't want to talk right now. Maybe that's why you're really caught in your mind. Maybe you're ruminating over that commitment, whether it's a romantic partnership or a bond of trust of some other type. The Two of Cups possibly indicates, sometimes indicates love understood. It's a phrase I love that's associated with that card, that I associate with that card sometimes. It could be things of that nature are on your mind. Yeah, I think this is the beginning of your reading, actually, because I think this is, well, this is a Gemini, an air sign card, the King of Swords. And I think this is you in your head, overanalyzing, well, not necessarily overanalyzing, but as I said I was doing, thinking a lot of thoughts back to back really quickly. And luckily, you know, I think there's a point to it. I think there's a point to all of that. You know, you're organizing your thoughts, you're organizing your life, and maybe staying quiet verbally because you are busy planning and organizing, you know, mentally. And I say I think there's a point because you're met with the Six of Swords energy in September. So, you're already in the King of Swords energy, I'd say now. Maybe even as you were entering September, but certainly now as I'm recording this on September 9th. And then sometime between now and the end of September, you are taking those busy, active, and honest thoughts that you're organizing about yourself and your life and where you want to go, who you want to be, what career path you want to take for some of you, whether or not you can maintain the commitment that I said was on a lot of our minds. And you're taking those thoughts in that organization, and I think there was a point to it because you're taking it and you're going to a calmer, more peaceful place, a more organized place. You're moving away from a fiery, hectic energy, those racing thoughts. I think you're feeling very passionately about all of the things that have a spot in those racing thoughts of yours, Gemini. If for some of you that commitment is related to your future, to possibly to having a partnership with someone you trust and want to form a couple with because you see a marriage and a family with them. For others, it's a commitment that has to do with your business, whether it's your own personal business that you own or your place of business that you are very passionate about, the type of work you do. It's creative, it's spiritual for some of you. It's work that has to do with entrepreneurship for most of us, Gemini. And your those thoughts are about those many thoughts speeding through that you're passionate about are about that. Then your entrepreneurship, your business. So for some, it's both, and that's why there are so many, and why you feel like you have to cycle through them so quickly. But as I said, you're moving away from that hectic energy. It's like on a conscious level, in your interaction with other people and in your conscious thoughts, you are stuck in your thoughts. You are just going over and over and over the plans. But on a subconscious level, you know you need to take action. You feel like you need to act. And I don't know why you aren't. For some of you, maybe it's just not the time. You know you want to build something, you want to create, you want to reach out to other people, to network. and but you are just stuck in your head at this time. And I think it is that drive to take action that keeps you cycling through all the thoughts that, that keep you in your mind. It's because you need to do something that you just keep thinking about what should you do next. When really what just needs to happen is, like I said, moving away from that hectic energy into a calmer space. Because you are already, like I said, being honest with yourself. I think those thoughts are productive. You're being honest, so you're probably organizing correctly about what needs to be done next. It just must be that, for some of you, you're unable to take action at this time. Or you need to think over a commitment in some way, like I said before. Some of you though are addicted to these thoughts, this planning, this cycling through what needs done and what needs done next, and the to-do list. Some of us are, even if we calm our thoughts down, we're still addicted to the thoughts. Yes, it's like they're productive. We are narrowing down what we should focus on and maybe are correct in what we're landing on. This is the next focus. This is the next most important thing. Because we're being honest with ourselves and we're probably overanalyzing. But we're not being efficient. We're not being productive. We're not being, we're being so nitpicky that it's not actually helping. We're organizing too much, basically, especially in our thoughts. And we're addicted to those thoughts. Again, whether they're hectic, whether we calm them down, whether they're honest or not. And they are honest. They are honest and to an extent productive. I just think we're maybe taking them too far with the devil card showing up here. I think they're an addiction. Buried in our subconscious, something that started, something maybe embedded in our personality as people who identify with the Gemini energy, even, especially, like I said, my Mars and Jupiter is there, but especially if you have more prominent Gemini placement, maybe. And again, I think, and here the advice is to take action. So you've got your subconscious knows you need to take action with the King of Wands, and the advice is to take action with the Chariot. Confident, youthful action. Move forward. With some haste, but mostly with energy. So no need to scold ourselves or yourselves for the addiction to the thoughts. No need to, go hard on yourself for wanting to plan, wanting to organize, wanting to make the best decision. I think it again was productive and has just reached a point of being too nitpicky, not really being efficient any longer. It's just procrastination, maybe, and addiction to your ability to plan so well, to be so ruthlessly honest with yourself about what needs done next, what's most important, and then to organize it. It seems that you're really good at it at this time. It's Virgo season, so you're maybe a lot of Geminis are really susceptible to those energies for whatever reason. You're really picking up on those abilities. It's heightening your own abilities. Again, probably something to do with your duality being heightened in that being recognized as something that creates a fair balance in a way in your life. Somehow that's also communicating with into your ability to organize so well and pick up on that Virgo energy. And then you've got Pisces energy showing up here as well. The part of you that doesn't feel grounded, that airy part of you that doesn't feel naturally grounded the way that the Virgo energy is helping to ground you, which is helping you to organize and actually root those ideas in something. That airy part of you, your mind that just wants to wander off, that doesn't want to keep those plans that you make, that doesn't want to utilize that organization. That's what can keep you from moving forward confidently with youthful energy that you're, suggested to here. The honest, wise, intelligent, planning, thoughts, assessments that are going into this season, whatever moves you're making next, are beautiful. I mean, you're the King of Wands subconsciously and the King of Swords consciously. So, Gemini, I mean, it's like you have your creative, spiritual, and mental realms mastered at this time. You feel accomplished in those areas. Your fire and air realms are dominated by you, which is why you're able to move away from that hectic fire energy to calmer thoughts, both handled. And something you have the potential to miss is the addiction to that thinking. It's so precise and on point, and it's so perfect. You have a natural tendency to organize your thoughts that way anyway, and it's Virgo season, and you also have an opportunity to take action at this time, though. So you can, even in this short period of time, this month, you can become so addicted to that perfect thinking, and honest thinking, as great as it is, that you miss an opportunity to take action. And your advice is to take that confident action with youthful energy. And so it's asking, it's asking a lot of you. It wants your best energy, your youthful energy. And I think, it's asking you that duality of yours that's heightened then, I think are the two sphinxes on the front of the chariot, which aren't pictured here but are in the original tarot. It displays that the chariot represents, trying to harness the power of two different energies that want to go wild in different directions and force them to pull the chariot forward in one direction. And I think that's what you're being asked to do here with the Hangman in reverse. Rein in that airy tendency to let your mind wander and to not ground your plans, and to not ground your great ideas and your intelligent ideas, lest all of this perfect thinking and planning and organizing that's happened be all for naught. You also, want to use Virgo energy's ability to ground you and ground those plans and ideas that you're having at this time, because they are as beautiful as you're feeling and thinking they are and acting like they are. They just won't culminate in anything for anyone else to experience or see without without also grounding them. So use that aspect of Virgo's energy as well. I believe the Seven of Swords was in reverse, I think. So we have you catching a culprit, and you are being very honest, and in your mind, yes, in your thoughts a lot, but being very honest with yourself. Let me let you look at these. And so I think you are, this month, facing the parts of yourself that are stealing time and energy from you. Your addictions. Maybe your addiction to these thoughts. To a certain way of thinking, maybe. That's probably what's allowing you to move forward away from this hectic energy and into a calmer state of mind as well. But again, there's still some sort of like addiction and attachment here. Let me see. You're coming out of a period of celebration, Gemini. So it looks like the beginning of Virgo season, the beginning of September, maybe even back into August. There were some collaborations, some celebrations, maybe to do with that entrepreneurship, that business that I was talking about. Probably that have put you in the good space that is allowing you to now be so honest with yourself. You've been rejoicing. Let's just get one clarification card on the Devil. And then I will pull a future card to look at not being able to tame, humanistic, lower level, humanly desires, and so addictions, attachments, not being able to keep your mind, body, and spirit, all three, healthy. Yeah. Okay, so definitely. Yes, definitely. It has to do with that. You need to keep your mind, body, and spirit healthy. And the reason that you have attached to something that's unhealthy for you and developed an addiction is because one of those areas isn't completely healthy. One or more of those areas isn't completely healthy. Or isn't getting everything that it needs. And what I see, pointed at here as what maybe a little bit extra, a little too much, is your mental activity. Maybe so much thought that you're failing to take action somewhere, possibly. Where are your emotions? where are your emotions, Gemini? You're in your mind, you're in your mental activity. You're anxious because part of you knows that action needs taken. Action needs grounded and action needs taken. That's earth energy. That's fire energy. The mental activity is air energy. Where's the water energy? Where is where are your emotions? They're missing. They're what's not being looked at here. You were just recently celebrating, rejoicing, collaborating, maybe celebrating with people close to you that you love. So you know, you have been in that place, but throughout the month of September, you may be neglecting that a little bit. That's definitely worth looking at as well. Then we'll look at the Four of Earth in its blocked position as well. That will tell us about October for you, maybe even November and December. We'll see. But the Five of Cups here on the bottom of the clarifier deck also says don't leave behind more than you lost. So it's like you're moving away from this hectic fire energy because it's just too much. Your subconscious saying you need to take action here, you need to take action here, you need to take action here. And it's paralyzing you and keeping you in your mind just going, okay, well, what I need to do is stop and make lists and organize and think and be honest about what my limitations are. And yes, that's true. But as you move away from that hectic energy, don't forget that some part of you, that part of you that's telling you need to take action is right. Maybe you need to plan for a while, but then by the full moon, some completions need to happen. By the end of the month, some energy forward, some motion forward needs to happen, some focused intention needs to happen, some bending of nature to our will needs to happen. Making sure that we're healthy before we try to become wealthy needs to happen. Again, youthful energy, confident energy, taking control of both sides, Gemini, of both twins. Yes, we have many thoughts, and we love to get lost and wander off on our airy adventures in our mind. But we also have the ability to make great plans from our very intelligent ideas. And so we have to allow those to be grounded and revealed and shown and shared. And so we have to harness that duality that I think is again being highlighted and emphasized at this time for you anyway. The potential blockage here is tedium and monotony often instill a desire to rush. Do not allow the desire to be free to move on to new ventures, to result in careless errors or prevent you from completing a task or resolving an issue that you have before you. You might find yourself free of boredom and impatience only to feel the weightier burden of guilt and regret. Whether it be a matter that affects home and hearth or one that affects your career, do not allow impatience and frustration to cloud your judgment and lead to hasty decisions. The Shadow Four of Earth cautions you against embracing a belief that greener pastures are waiting if you choose to walk away. In this circumstance, they are not. Okay, so I'm pushing you to take action a little bit. Not meaning to push, but I am pushing a little bit because I see just, a lot of mental activity. But again, there's also definitely a message here of your emotional life needing to be tended to. You've been celebrating in the past. There may be some hard emotions that are being ignored this month, this season. And somehow your addiction to mental activity is forming, some kind of mental activity is forming to try to compensate for where you're ignoring something emotional that you don't want to deal with. maybe these people, this normally actually this space here is for some things, energies that we're moving away from or out of. So maybe in the beginning of this year, even in the last few months, you were celebrating and collaborating with a group that you had to leave for some reason. Maybe that's where the thief that you caught was. Maybe one or more of the people in that group were lying to you, being manipulative. You had to move away from them, and those are the 3 cups that are spilled here. You're still mourning, having left those energies. There was ego drama, fights, impasses. You just could not, but you are a sociable creature and are missing your friends or whomever you've had to move away from. So instead of dealing with those emotions, trying to go back and talk to one or more of them and make sure you don't leave behind more than you lost, because that's a difficult conversation and those are difficult emotions. Instead, you are forming an addiction to creating plans for your future, forming an addiction to organizing the business, life, activities that you have, filling up your space. None of that's a bad thing. That's beautiful. The reading is just cautions you against ignoring emotions and forming any type of an addiction to try to make up for something that's unhealthy, be it mind, body, and or spirit. So yeah, I really hope that offered you some insight, that it gave you something to take away from the reading that you didn't have when you came to it, Geminis. I would love to dig into it a little bit deeper. I feel like it resonated with me in a lot of ways. I'd love to dig into it deeper and get more specific, but we are over time, so I will have to leave you there. I really loved reading for you, and I really appreciate your likes and on this video and subscribes to this channel. So please do so if you have not already. It's very appreciated. And thank you for all of your comments and shares and messages too. That's all very appreciated as well. A special thank you goes to those who have supported the channel through donations and purchases. I'm truly grateful for our energy exchanges. Let's see if you can look at this for a minute longer. Perfect. If you are interested in a personal reading and aren't familiar with my services, check the description of this video down below, and you'll find all of my options there. And my email is lunartixtarot@gmail.com. If you need a free personal reading, all you need to do is send your request to that email address. And there is currently a 4-week wait time for those, so just be prepared for that. And I did want to tell everyone that at 6 weeks, once the readings are 6 weeks out, the free personal readings, I will probably take a break in accepting those requests. And I don't see that lasting, so I don't see that taking much longer than through September, just to give you all a heads up. A great alternative, though, is the $10 quick fix, which is new. I also have 24-hour rush reading options, so check those out below. And there's also a Virgo season reading, which I will put the link for that in the description box as well, in case you want more free content that's available right now. That was for the collective, for any signs. Otherwise, I love you all very much, Geminis, and I will post another tarot fix for you as soon as I can.